Whoa, he has trouble with the snap, and the ball is free.
Okay, next question.
I'm a horse football coach right now.
You know, it got shoved up, shoved it up. It got shoved, right?
Let's go kick some ass.
Good afternoon, Spartan Savants. Hope everyone's doing well. I know it was a little while since we last spoke. Our basketball season is officially behind us, basketball season in general. First things first, I do want to let everybody know for what we've been teasing the past few months. As of April 9th, we are now the sole Michigan State podcast and the College Huddle, the largest group of fan-driven independent college sports podcasts online on the entire internet. So that's huge for us there. You'll see us crossing over a bit in the future. But right now, today, I'm joined with Travis. Winston, the other savant, is selfishly on the road right now, preparing for his wedding this week. So he wasn't able to join us. Shout out Ivy Elkins, the future Mrs. Erwiller. But Travis, how are you doing?
Yeah, Nikki, it's been pretty good, I guess. I mean, we haven't had anything to let us down lately, so let's put it that way. But yeah, it's just living life and waiting for I'm ready for football season to be back, honestly. But we got a little teaser, but
Yes, we did.
yeah.
Honestly, I'm kind of enjoying the sports tea break right now because right now I'm just full on Kool-Aid mode. I get to gush over Aidan Chiles, Jonathan Smith, and the football program. But it's good to know
Oh
you're
yeah.
doing well. But first things
Like,
first, let's talk about the past. The disappointing basketball season ended with us losing to North Carolina. I will say at one point in the first half when we were up by 12, I was starting to get delusions of grandeur, thinking about
yeah.
potential Sweet 16 Elite 8 matchups, but that 26-0 run that North Carolina said really just deflated me, and here we are. Any
Oh yeah.
thoughts?
I mean, this is a kind of a running thing we've been saying, but it was the script. I mean, straight up hot start. I mean, that's not part of the script. Usually it's a slow start, but eventually we give it up. Yeah, I mean, it was like what? I think you said 26-3. I had 23-3, whatever it was at the end of that half. That just
Yeah.
that doesn't happen to our teams. And that's especially when you knew it was over. The offense had become stagnant and stopped, was stuck in the half court basically. It stopped making shots. And as good as you felt at the beginning of that game, you were just completely the opposite direction by halftime. And it was
Yeah.
not fun to watch at that point.
It was
Um,
it was almost
and
nice knowing the game was just done. Like, okay,
yeah,
don't even care anymore.
it was like, okay, they're good. We should have been better. We're underachieving. Hey, maybe next year this will be better. Season's over. That kind of thing. Luckily, the freaking hockey team won the Big Ten championship that night in the Big Ten tournament. But
Oh,
basketball wise,
don't
it
even get me
was it
started
was a
about the
rough
hockey
day.
team.
Dude, it was just the only positive takeaway from that day. I
That
mean,
good thing for that, but I mean the whole
I,
losing to Michigan. I didn't buy into the hockey team really. Like I didn't really care that much because I'm not a hockey guy. But when I saw that score, I went to bed angry.
oh,
I was so
dude,
annoyed.
I was so disappointed. I was well, and you knew what it was going to happen. I mean, we're sidetracking here a little bit, but you knew it was going to happen because we played them like 4 times in 2 weeks. Like,
Yeah,
what else did you expect? Like, at least make that, I don't know, at least put us in separate brackets. Like,
so
I, I,
stupid.
I don't know.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Moving
Anyway,
on.
back to that was just the only
But
positive. I remember being in one of the Dallas bars and just being like, "Hey, that's the only positive I can take away from today."
yeah,
So, um, yeah,
but on that note, we are getting a fresh start next year.
hmm
No more Tyson Walker graduating, Malik Hall graduating, David Smith, Steve Izzo, Madi Sissoko entering the transfer portal in good graces, and AJ Hogarth looking to go pro. And he will not be coming back here, according to Tom, Coach Izzo. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, seniors, for all the hard work you've done, and all the entertainment we've had over the past few years. That being said, looking at the future now, I know we're looking for definitely a wing and possibly a center. I think give us as many as possible. Uh, right now we're hoping for Frankie Fidler, the
Yep.
Fiddler on the Roof, Fiddler with some doof.
Nice.
Um, how are you?
I don't
What
know
are your
if we need
thoughts,
more doof
Travis?
around this team. I don't
That's
know if we
true.
need more
Yeah,
doof around this team.
maybe we need a doof-free policy this year. But
Um,
Travis, what are your thoughts on the transfer situation? What should we be looking for?
yeah, I think I've told you this off the air right before we started. I wrote down on my paper, give me all the centers and 3-and-D wings. That's what we need. We need shooting that can stretch the floor and guys that can actually defend on the other side of the floor, especially against those guys that are going to be shooting the threes on the other team. I mean, good God, how many guards have their career nights against us day in and
Oh,
day out? I mean, especially the last 3 years, ridiculous. And then we need obviously centers. I mean, you looked at our center rotation this year; it was better when Kohler came back healthy and Booker started playing well down the stretch. But you can't just and Cooper was a very good defender by all the metrics. But you can't really rely on all those guys. I mean, Sissoko, you need somebody to replace Sissoko, which isn't much, but somebody who can actually catch the ball for once inside. That
maybe a
that
guy
could
with
help.
glasses. Like,
He
yeah,
he committed elsewhere. He committed
I know.
elsewhere.
Yeah, I signed
Okay.
with the St.
Okay.
Louis, but
Okay. Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah. There are plenty of 7-footers in the portal. If that helps. Highly recruited
it.
7-footers, highly
Yes,
rated 7-footers. I mean,
from
from good programs too. So, I mean, Tom, look somewhere. I mean, it's there. Uh,
yeah, just seeing everyone commit to Illinois, Ohio State, Indiana. It's like, oh, come on,
yeah.
let's
Even
get you the committees.
even that Micah Parrish, the guy that we were in on for Oakland a couple years ago, he transferred again and he's headed to Ohio State.
Oh,
It's
great.
like we could have. I don't know how he was last year for San Diego State, but like, hey, we could have.
I
There's
mean,
there's a 3-and-D wing right there.
yeah, and he was in a
But I
national
mean,
title 2 years ago.
I haven't seen enough of Frankie Fidler to know how much he would fit in there. But that seems to be the one guy that we're concentrated on right now.
He seems like the guy right now that if we so from what I can tell, everything kind of hinges on his commitment. It seems like because
Yeah,
if we get him, I think we're going to start looking for some centers. But I believe Trey Townsend is visiting on Tuesday, but it seems like
that's
he's
right.
kind
I
of the
saw it.
backup plan. So like if we get
And that
Fiddler, he's kind of he may be we don't need your services because he's more
yeah,
of a four. And
right,
we
right.
really
That and that
want Booker to play out of position.
well, right, and that's my thing about Townsend. He's a good player, good scorer. He's not really the 3-and-D wing or the center we're looking for. Um,
Yeah,
but and also I don't think they're gonna make every target that we're going after made public. I mean,
yeah, agreed.
that's just good business. You're not gonna, when company's
Tom,
gonna take over another company, you're not spreading the word in the papers till it's done.
yeah, Tom moves in silence like lasagna. He's a real G. So
Nice.
yeah, that's. Do
Nice.
you have any more thoughts on basketball? Before we go to
Um, I guess just like I mean, we have 2 scholarships open. Use them. I think it's two. I don't
yeah,
know.
it is
Okay. So I mean, you see Cohen Carr cut the dreads off.
new look.
Um, New look. Maybe that'll help him add some 3-point shooting.
Yeah,
Um, no,
yeah. Maybe
no,
it was
was
they were
not
getting in his face.
was not meant as a dig, but that would help his game tremendously. Um,
Yeah,
and then looking forward to the progress that those guys are making. You know, having Fears back should help a lot. Hopefully,
yeah.
Akins can take that step that we've been waiting for him to take.
I think him playing his
Um,
natural position, the two will probably help
yeah,
out.
yeah. I think 3-point shooting was one of the big things that we needed help with this year. Garrick Normand coming back off that red shirt should help. That's what he was recruited for,
Yeah,
as a top 100 recruit. Holloman should have some progress, and then we got a couple guards coming in and underrated power forward, in my opinion, in McCullough. So,
yeah. He seemed to blow up at the
it's
end of his recruitment.
Yeah, yeah, he's got some good offers. I mean, Jace Richardson, the bloodline's there. A lot of people are excited about Kurtang, so we'll
Yeah,
see.
he seems to
We'll
be
see
kind of a
what
Jeremy
happens.
Fears, guy, OKG guy that loves to get coached hard.
Just the kind of guys that you want is recruiting. That's the
Yeah,
kind of
our
guys
kind of guy.
that's the kind of guys that build Spartan basketball, build that program. Which I'm not going to go as far to say we haven't totally had that, but not everybody has been that kind of person, I would
Yeah,
say. Yeah.
I feel like we could kind of take the 2018 class to the 2021 class and kind of call that the Kush era. Like that was the kind of fun, high energy guys who seem to like having a lot of fun, great friends. But I think we need to get kind of the hardos back.
The
The guys
toughness.
who are
Yeah.
breaking their hands punching lockers. Like,
Yeah. We're a 5, 6, or 7 seed, but we're making it to the final four.
yeah.
Those kinds of guys.
Or
The
maybe
gritty, the
even
gritty
we're a one or
Brandon
two seed.
Dawson's. Well, yes, that point, but I mean, like, even if we're the guys
Yeah.
that those teams had, even if we're a lower, if we're a crappier seed one year, it's not, oh shit, we got to play these guys. It's, oh, we're gonna show these guys why we're fucking better than them, even though we're a worse seed.
Yeah, we need to go back to
Yeah,
being the guys you don't want to play in the
exactly.
early round and the second rounds, not the guys where it's okay, we'll probably beat them. Like,
And like those teams had their star player, like those good teams that made it far had their star players, but you also had the gritty players that would get in there with the Travis Trices, the Travis Waltons, like
Kyle Arns even.
Brandon Dawson, yeah, Kyle Arns. Um, I mean, those guys played huge roles on really, really good teams, and
Yeah.
they weren't your offensive firepower weapons. I mean, so that's kind of way we need to. I mean, our defense honestly has sucked the past couple of years, so need to get back to that. That's what leads us into that transition offense.
Yes, no suckage, no more suckage. Time for Spartan basketball. All right. Let's get on to the Kool-Aid. Dunking some green Kool-Aid
Inject
on.
it into my veins. Let's go.
Time for the spring game. Travis, start us off. What are some thoughts going into this season from the spring game?
Yeah,
Or
man.
should we start off? Actually, let's start off with Winston's thoughts.
Okay, yeah, I can.
He
Okay,
gave
I
us some
got some
thoughts
reactions
here,
to that. Sure. Yeah.
and yeah, we can kind of we'll go point by point. We can kind of elaborate. So first off, I think we can all agree Aidan Chiles is going to be sick. He's the real deal. He has a presence to him, a QB1 presence. The guys love him, commands the room. That being said, he's very young. He's still 18. He enrolled at school at 17, so we may still need a little bit of patience. He's very raw still.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you can. He just oozes potential out of there. I mean, honestly, the talent's there, the leadership's there. You can tell the guys like him, like being around him, like playing with them. Hell, I think some of the transfers even came just because he was there. So like, every people want to play with him, and that's when you get good teams, good talent. Um, but I agree with what you guys were saying. There's going to be some bumps in the road, especially during his first year as the starter. Uh, New conference, big time. I mean, a little bit of a bigger conference than he was playing in. A few similar, opponents and everything. A little more elite on the defensive end, I would say. A few more elite defenses that he's going to be playing against. And I don't think we have our complete allotment of weapons in here yet that he's going to end up gelling with over the course of his career in East Lansing.
Yes, agreed. Another thing Winston has to say, offense has things to work on, but it does just look so much better in terms of having an actual identity on what they're trying to accomplish. I kind of agree there. I remember the Mel Tucker era being pretty much our identity was just sucking and then having an occasional really good play with a really good athlete
Yeah.
like Jaden Reed, Keon Coleman, obviously Kenneth Walker.
Yeah.
Basically just
Naylor too. Yeah.
yeah, Naylor, just basically relying on our athletes and being anemic
Yeah.
when the plays weren't going our way. So, how
Yeah.
do you
Yeah.
think our offensive? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. I was just gonna say I had a thought earlier this week that was like thinking back on the Tucker era, and I was like, you know, for all the credit he got when we were good, it was really just the players that were there. Like there was a bunch of like management situations where we were like, what the hell is he doing? And
Yeah.
but um again on that offensive identity bit, we've always been like founded in the run game, like the foundations in the run game and power run game and everything, and that's worked. Um, but I did like something that Brian Lindgren said during one of his media interviews or whatever during the week, where he said that you're probably gonna really like this too, Nikki. It's very different or Hawkins, sorry, Courtney Hawkins said this. I had Lindgren's name written
Yeah.
above that. But Lindgren said something about playing fast, and Courtney Hawkins says it's very different offensively than the last 4 years. Thank fucking God. Um, and, and then this is the part you're gonna love. There's no more young guys. It's go time. We have concepts that are like the Rams and the Lions.
Okay.
Oh
Nice.
my gosh. What a change of pace. Like,
Very
jeez,
nice.
I cannot wait for that to just be unleashed on college football. Like,
Ashton Leppo is eligible.
I like that one. As long as the ref pays attention, you know.
Yeah, true. Got to be playing the right guys there. Um, maybe that'll work against Indiana. Probably not Ohio State. The another thing here, I did see in the press conference they did say our this was like kind of seemed by far the best day the O line's played. Seems like the defense has been better in some of the other scrimmages and practices, but hey, I'll take it. O line has been improving. Obviously, some more to work on. And Boyd was out. I don't know what's going on
Hmm.
there. Seems like there might be a transfer situation. Um, so I think we're going to bring in
Are
some
you
guys too.
speculating or do you know that?
I am completely speculating.
Okay.
Um, but I do think
Just to be
more depth.
clear. Yeah.
Yeah, I do think more depth in the O line obviously is needed. Um, but look to know they're gelling. Coach M is doing his work. This could be at least average Big Ten O line by the fall, and with the talent we have in
Would be
skill,
great.
yeah, the talent we have with skill positions, I can very much deal with that
We haven't had an average O line in a long time. Um,
since we were in
and
college.
then yeah, probably that might be it, honestly. And yeah, it's kind of hard to tell what the starting offensive line is just because they were rotating so many people in there together. But and then your point about the defense, that's expected. Most springs, especially under a new coach, the defense is ahead of the offense. So
Offense one,
yeah, yeah. Well, I know, but
but
your
yeah,
point with the scrimmages and everything throughout sprint, they usually translate faster on defense.
yeah. One thing I liked seeing Aidan Chiles too in his press conferences, he did seem genuinely very happy that the offense won. So that just kind of shows like his competitive spirit, like his when the lights come on, he can help lead a team, and I love to see that. Nate Carter too. I think he's looking
Yes.
healthy. Winston agrees. He looked great. Obviously, multiple touchdowns. I do think it does seem like we're probably going to bring in another running back. We definitely need some depth there, but for someone who's our running back one, at least at the moment, he seems to be a guy with a better O line who can really flourish.
Yeah. I think that running back group's pretty good. When we talk about our breakout players, I have a not really a breakout. Well, you know what? I'm not going to save this. I was going to save it, but I'm not going to save it now. I think the just because I don't know how many carries he's going to actually get during the season, but I think that running back room is pretty good with Carter and Berger, and don't forget Mangum coming back. He
Yeah,
didn't really do anything there, but he
he's
came
hurt all
on at the
last
end.
year.
Right, he was hurt all last year, came on at the end, but didn't really get any carries in the spring game. We're looking at a couple running backs in the transfer portal, obviously. Um, but Brandon Tullis had some really good runs yesterday during that spring game. I really liked the way he was showing up, especially for freshmen who should be still in high school. I mean,
Yeah,
this is the second half of his senior year of high school when he's in East Lansing, and
true. That's very true.
he was. I don't think he was very highly recruited. I mean, I think he was a 3-star, but he looked very good. I mean, obviously there were some wide open holes that he was running through, but he, got downhill quickly. He broke out some runs, seemed like a physical runner, which is something that I don't think we've had a little bit of, but I don't think we've had a consistent presence there.
Yeah. And I guess with kind of random, but with Jalen Berger, especially with them talking about um having a much faster kind of Lions Rams based offense, I feel like sounds like we might get Jalen Berger doing some more pass catching because that seemed to be kind of a strength of his.
Looked like they were trying to do a lot of that yesterday in the spring game too, with both him and Carter. It's just they completed him more to Carter. So yeah, I would agree with that.
Definitely. Now that's next one. Defense again looked from what I can tell, looked good. The offensive line just looked like they had a good day that day, and sometimes because some people have better. Obviously Simeon Barrow, he hasn't been playing all spring, but he's gone. So
Hmm.
I
Again,
guess
again,
yeah, he's gone. He's
yeah.
actually gone this time, I think. So
You would think
that's
fourth time in the portal. I don't think you're staying.
yeah.
I mean,
I
it's
have some of the donors are just like we can't give you any more
yeah.
money.
It,
Sorry.
well, and at that point, you're just like, we don't want you back. You're half in, half out.
Yeah, I mean
Like
he just got his degree,
we're
so
trying. Yeah, I mean, no, I don't blame him. I'm just saying, like at that point, you're like, hey, we're trying to build a foundation here, new coach, everything. We understand you're leaving, and that's fine.
yeah, you gotta
That
just
that kind of thing. Yeah.
yeah. But you know what? Good there. And yeah, the defense, I guess, kind of wait and see. Sounds like Joe Rossi has some good. He's gonna have much better schemes than Scotty Hazelton.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
it's multiple for sure. Darius Snow said he likes it, and he had a good comment on the linebacker room. He said like in his like 25 years of coaching, it's like the first time he's felt like the starting linebacker or like every linebacker in that room could contribute.
yeah,
So that's impressive, especially the way our linebackers played last year. I do feel like the spring game they didn't give them like test them enough down the field vertically, which is where we were really challenged last year with linebackers on those seam routes against tight ends and everything.
yeah,
So I don't think like at the moment we can really tell how much they're improved in that aspect.
agree.
And that's going to be very important this year.
Yes. Luckily, I do think we have a pretty favorable schedule. At the beginning and at the end, at least. But yeah, another thing too with the tight ends. Tight ends look good. Velling looks like a great player. Parachek obviously hurt. I think seems like he's in a boot, so hopefully everything will be good by fall camp. And he'll be great because he was showing some good flashes last year.
Yeah, he's got a lot of potential. I do agree. I mean, I don't think you've read this point yet from Winston, but we may need to add a body at the tight end room in the portal just for good measure.
Yeah, just for safety.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
I mean, we
I
have
think,
talents. We have talent, and you just need to make sure you have the required depth out of it.
yeah, a lot of our talent's younger too.
Hmm.
I do think that wouldn't be I do think we have some other needs
Yes.
for that. So I wouldn't lose any sleep at night if we didn't take a tight end. Because I definitely think there's some defensive needs we need as well, especially again with Barrow leaving. I guess
Yeah.
we might as well kind of get onto that. What kind of we're looking for in the portal. We lost some besides Barrow, the other guys we lost. Was it Braden Miller, Marquise
Hmm.
Laurie? Those were kind of guys it seems like got buried in the depth chart. So good luck to them.
Yeah. Yeah. I got the list pulled up here. There's a kind of a lot. Going back to the December transfer portal
Yeah,
too. Um, yeah. Lowry, Simeon Barrow, Eddie Pleasant,
Pleasant. Yeah, I forgot about him.
Ma. Not even gonna try to pronounce the last name, but Ma.
Oh, we got
Uh, Jalen Barberin.
man. I loved the idea of him.
Yeah.
But good luck to him.
I thought he was just gonna be that speed burner running back that we needed. Malik Carr, obviously. Dre Butler, Evan Morris. Zion Young, Terrell Henry.
Yeah, we lost some guys.
Yeah, Sam
But we got
Levitt, Caden Cowser, obviously.
Noah Kim.
Kevin Wigginton. Yeah,
But yeah,
Noah Kim, Spencer Brown. Yeah.
I know right
Yeah.
now we're
Okay. That's where I'll stop. Yeah.
we're hosting a couple of defensive ends. I know we got a guy from Rutgers who we just offered. We got Eddie Kelly, who was on the official visit from Georgia Tech. Um, I believe, he was played with Douse, I believe, who's kind of a big name in our defense
Yeah.
now.
Douse and
And,
Dunnigan had good days yesterday. There's
the big
two
ones,
transfers on the D line. Yeah.
yeah, the big ones I want to go through are the Colorado State wide receiver and the Auburn receiver,
Yeah.
who are hosting, whose names are escaping me right now. Give me one.
Johnson is the Auburn receiver.
Yeah, he has some wheels. He seems like he'd be a perfect fit in our offense.
Yeah,
And
and
then
they were talking about earlier in the week with the media how um with Hawkins, I think it was, that how Jonathan Smith's offense has had a lot of success at Oregon State with some smaller guys that are like 5'10" and lower, and that is exactly what Johnson fits in there. Little kind of 5'10" slot guy,
played with Peyton
I
Thorne.
think.
So they have that
Complete the
similarity.
trade. Yeah.
Yeah, complete the trade. I mean,
Complete the trade. Player to
he
be
could
named later. Come on. Yeah.
yeah, he could be Keon Coleman 2.0, leaving his QB to play with another elite QB and be
I see where you're going with that. I was like, Keon Coleman is 6'4", 230. What the fuck are
yeah.
you
Oh
talking
no, I
about?
meant more in like just a story way. And then we have the two running backs who are hosting. I know we're really only gonna like we're basically, from what I read from Justin Thind, we're only gonna get one, but I think that's all we really need.
That's
There's Andrew
yeah.
Paul from Georgia, our neighbor from Dallas.
Yep. I covered him in high school. Very
So
talented
go
player. Yeah.
go ahead
Well,
on
I mean
him.
that's all I can really say is is a talented player. He played on a talented team full of eventual Division I players. I mean, his quarterback was Preston Stone, who's the quarterback at SMU now. Um, I mean, they went, I think they won 4 state championships in a row. People just never beat them. It's a very, very good program. His head coach played at Notre Dame at one point. So, he's got the background and the polishing, and he just, I remember we were kind of late on him when he
Yeah,
was picking his school, but he just took off at the end, like especially right after we showed interest. Um,
the
and I
Spartan
mean,
bump.
you end up being a running back at Georgia. I mean, you got to be pretty damn good, right?
Yeah,
I mean, Georgia and Clemson were in on him. I mean, so I mean, selfishly, I want him there because of that Dallas pipeline that's starting to build up, make things easier for us.
yeah.
I mean, we got a couple guys in this year's class with Tullis and freaking names escaping me right now from McKinney, the other running back. Um,
Yeah, the guy, whatever. That guy.
Mackay, yeah, Mackay.
Oh,
I don't remember.
Frazier.
I don't. Yes, Frazier. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. So the DFW pipelines in there. You obviously got
Yeah.
Darius Snow. Um. So yeah. Just keep building through Texas. There's a
I
ton of talent down here. So yeah.
Oh yeah. I will say I'm kind of intrigued with this KRN Lynch Adams, all first team independent, all first team
I mean, I'm not saying
offense.
it's a bad option. I'm just yeah.
I kind of because he seems like another guy with huge wheels. While Paul is more of a workhorse. I feel like Lynch
Yep.
Adams this year would really complement Nate Carter. I think he could complement him pretty well.
That's
He's
fair
like
enough. Yeah.
two-headed monster there, maybe even three-headed if with Burger or Mangum, four-headed, who knows? Um,
Honestly, we could. I mean, we need to just keep stacking talent right now. It doesn't
yeah.
really matter where it's coming from and everything. So,
From what I can read on the recruiting visits, it sounds like neither are getting the full court press. It's kind of more of a character evaluation of who they think would be better. Then they're going to
mm,
start targeting that guy and give that guy the full court press. So, but I mean,
mean,
Hey,
that's a fair approach.
get him and a
Yeah,
receiver. Offense, and
yeah,
one more guy on the O line. Just
no
fine.
qualms with that approach. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. If we can get receiver, one of those two running backs, one or two guys on O line, I can't complain at all. And then defense, I think we're looking for corners as well. Corners,
Yeah,
defensive
that makes
backs,
sense.
defensive end.
It's really hard to tell. Like in the spring game, it's really because especially because we're keeping things so bland and vanilla. It's really hard to tell if it's the defense or the offense that's doing better.
Yeah.
Especially with and I bring this up just because the defensive backs, the receivers weren't getting much separation from the defensive backs yesterday, but it's really hard to tell at this point if that's the defensive backs or if that's on the receivers. So, but obviously we would need to address both through the portal if there's an issue there.
Yes, definitely agreed. Definitely agreed there. Any more thoughts on football?
Looking to see if there's anything we didn't bring up. Montorie Foster looked pretty good too.
Yes,
That's
Montorie Foster looked good.
that's another thing.
Nick Marsh. How could I forget? Nick Marsh balled out.
Yeah. Well, I think it was because that's so easy to see. we were just like, yeah, it's obvious. Everybody
Kind of
knows he balled
obvious.
out. Yeah. He's gonna be a great one.
Derek
Great one.
Harmon, please don't transfer. I know you. Please just stay here.
We need
I
you.
really,
Yes.
I really like you, man. You're cool.
Yeah. You're
Um,
cool. I like you. Have a cookie.
all right. Besides, I don't want to say under the radar, but like besides the extreme obvious, name one guy on each side who you're looking forward to.
Um. Okay. Offensively, I am going to go. Feel like Gates is a little too obvious, so I'm going to go with another, especially with the way they've been talking about him after practices. I think they probably held him out of the game yesterday just so people don't
Yeah.
try to like poach him and stuff. I'm going to go with Jalen Smith, receiver
Really?
from
Okay.
Houston. I just gut feeling. They mentioned him as being one of those guys that needs to step up or has been stepping up or something along those lines earlier in the week. Um, wasn't particularly impressive yesterday, but then again, I don't think he got a lot of targets in
Yeah.
anything. So um, I think I've always thought that he had pretty good potential. So I was texting you guys, half jokingly, but somewhat seriously, Jalen Smith breakout season. Um, I feel like there's some potential there to
I like it.
to
Yeah.
be a good guy. Um, defensively, we're looking got a few of them, but I mean, obviously, you're looking at Darius Snow being back for, you know, hasn't really played a full season
Since
since he's
20,
been since he's been
2021.
eligible for the starting lineup, basically.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So I mean, they talked about his role being being more of that like nickel type Sam, that coverage type Sam, which I think fits perfectly for him and the way he's built and the way he plays. And then Jalen Thompson, the defensive end, looking forward to seeing what he does
Yeah.
in a full year I would imagine he's going to be a starter this year.
Yeah.
So in a full year, he played really well as a freshman. Honestly, I'm really looking forward to all those young guys up on the defensive line with Thompson, By Job, Ken Talley, um, Andrew DePape, however the hell you say his
Yeah.
last name. I'm
Pape.
not in the pronunciation.
I
Yeah,
don't know what to say.
I'm not. I'm not in the pronunciation game. Okay, I write for a living.
Yeah.
Um, so it's yeah. I think that defensive line group up front has some potential, and they were talking about the front seven of that. At least Joe Rossi was talking about the front seven of this team being, Rossi and Smith, front seven of this team being a strength on defense.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to go for offense. Receiver wise, I would say Jaron
doesn't have
Glover.
to be a receiver, by the way.
I
But
know, I
okay.
know. That's just the first thing that came in my head. I feel like it's hard to even have a running back be a breakout because we kind of all know who they are.
Yeah.
So I
Well, I
might
feel like
go.
I feel like
Um,
Glover's not even a breakout. So like,
yeah. You know what? I'm gonna go a little different. He
go
might not
ahead.
have like the biggest season ever, but I think he'll get some good play. He'll be a little bit more healthy on offensive line. Stanton Ramil.
Mm, that's a good one.
He
That's
was
a
a
good one.
huge,
Yeah.
probably Mel. You could argue he was Mel Tucker's biggest recruit. I
He,
know he
he's the
wasn't as
one.
highly rated as Joe, but I just think he
He's the
could
one that
with the
shut down
coach on
Bama, right?
system.
He's the one that
Yeah.
shut down Bama and Auburn, right? Yeah, yeah.
So him, and then for defense, I don't even know if Chance Rucker would count as a breakout.
It's borderline.
Yeah. Um,
Pick another.
yeah, we'll pick another. Why not? Trying to think. Defense. Do you know what? I could see someone having a couple good catches in clutch times. Couple interceptions, maybe Justin Dennison,
I like
true
that. I like
freshman.
that one.
He's
Yeah. You need a
he's very
playmaker to step up
he
there.
got
Yeah.
some good offers. He lugged to egg us on a little bit. I think he's going to show out a bit when given. He might kind of have that
Oh yeah.
Chuck Brantley interception that he coached off of for a couple of years.
I think he's got some swagger there. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. One more question for you about football before we get into Miss the Vest. Are we going to beat Michigan this year? We're going
I'll
to beat
say
Michigan.
yeah. I'll say
We're going to
yeah.
beat Michigan this
They,
year.
they, they, they got a new coach. Everybody's transferring out of there,
Is it in
It's
probation?
new court. Yeah, they're on probation, new quarterback.
I mean, Alex Orgy or Aidan Chiles.
Denard Robinson's on the staff,
Yeah, he's doesn't
for
that guy doesn't
now.
that
For
guy does
now,
not know how to beat Michigan
they're
State.
they're
Yeah.
trying to sweep stuff under the rug.
I mean,
Mhm.
that's just like if they weren't sweeping stuff under the rug, that would be breaking news.
They're gonna need a bigger rug.
Okay, nice. All right. So for Miss the Vis this week, we have doing it based off the NFL draft, obviously in Detroit this week. Um, one more thing, Keon Coleman was at the spring game. I think he might just be
Mhm.
chilling 'cause it's in Detroit,
Hey,
but
that might be a good fit with the Lions.
I agree too.
Hmm.
Kind of
Hmm. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamison Williams, Keon Coleman.
I
Uh,
like it.
oh,
Hey, if he's back in Tallahassee clearing his house off this week, maybe we can say hi to him.
we,
Welcome into the
oh
Lions.
yeah. After he gets drafted, yeah.
Yeah, because
The
who
we're
knows? We're gonna be in Tallahassee for the Erwiller wedding.
yes.
Um, so all right, Miss the Vis this week. Going to be just 5 questions, but it's kind of two-part questions. It's going to be five since 2000, 5 of the first round picks. I'm going to ask you
Ooh,
who they were based off the year and what team they went to.
yeah,
Based off the
I like
year
this.
and the pick selection. Only going to do
Okay.
5. Going to be randomized, not going to be in any order or anything. So number 1, 2000. I'm going to make this one kind of easy. Draft of 2003, second overall pick.
2003. Oh, I'm getting that mixed up with 2002 right now.
Second overall pick.
Yeah, who had the first overall pick that year?
I don't know.
Oh, it doesn't say. Okay.
No.
I think that's got to be Charles Rogers, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I was
Where'd he
I
go?
was paying. Where did he go? Jesus, Nikki. What are we going here? I was panicking because I was like, well, it's either Charles Rogers or Julius Peppers. One of the two. I just
Well,
couldn't. I just
all these
could.
guys went to Michigan State.
Oh, these guys went to state. Okay, okay. Because I was mixing up the draft years because Julius Peppers was the number 2
Okay.
overall pick in
Yep.
02.
All right. So yep, that was Charles Rogers to the Lions.
Yeah, overthinking a little bit there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Next
Now we got
one.
the scoop. I'll keep this going. Yeah.
Next one I'm gonna do 2015 11th round pick. Or number 11 pick.
Okay. That would be Darquez Denard.
Nope.
No, Wayne's.
Yeah.
Okay,
Where did
I
he
mixed
go?
those two up. Dude, we're gonna ask this every. Oh, where did he go? What team did he go to? Is that
Yeah.
what you're saying? The
Yeah.
Vikings. Okay.
Yep. Now, next one, 2002, 18th pick.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, you're definitely gonna get me on this one. 2002.
Do you want the position?
Yes.
Running back.
Oh, TJ Duckett,
Yep.
Atlanta. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll give you you're 1.5 for 3 right now.
50%. That's not good.
All right. So we got 2 more for you. This one will be easy. 2016, 8th pick. Most recent first round pick.
Most recent first round pick, 2016.
Senior year.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like that's got to be Conklin, but it feels too high.
It's Conklin. You were right.
Okay, okay, yeah.
And where did he go?
That would have been Tennessee at the time.
Yep. Yep. You are correct. All right. So now we got one more for you. This one, the year 2000, 8th overall pick.
Well, 2000, 8th overall pick. Offense or defense?
Offense.
Not sure if I have the year right on this one, but I'm going to say Plaxico.
Yep. Where'd he go?
Yeah. Pittsburgh.
Yep. All right. So you were 3.5 out of 5. I'm gonna give you the half for
I was just, I knew it was.
for knowing where Trey Waynes went because you got that one wrong.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Well, it was like I knew it was one of the DBs, but like the year was off. I was like, yeah, wait a minute.
And just for fun, just for redemption, I'm gonna give you one more. Okay. You're not gonna get this. 1990, fourth round, 20th to the
Jesus.
Cleveland Browns defensive back.
Marlon Barnett.
Yep. Hell yeah. Wanted to see you get that, coach.
I needed all those clues for sure, but yeah.
Yeah, you definitely need. Yeah, I had a feeling.
Oh.
I was gonna go Connor Cook, but I was like, you know what? I saw Harlan.
You said fourth round. Actually, I will admit, you
Oh my
said
god, he
fourth
was.
round.
It's 420. He was 4th round, 20th pick.
That's funny. But you said fourth round in Cleveland. I was like, it may be. It may,
Yeah.
and then you verified it with everything else. I was like, yep, okay.
Very nice. All right. So that was a great redemption. Good up. Thank you for everyone. Congrats again to Winston. Congrats again to the offense.
We'll see you this
for
weekend,
winning the
Willie.
team
Yeah.
game. Go green.